there's a quest right over there. Can't keep them waiting.
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mothercrystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move.
Listen. Yeah, I didn't know about the bottom crystal. It's all
the
flat.
Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the mother crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's Breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity.
This is the safest one to get.
The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Johnstruct the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's Breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. Then, thank you all the same.
Since they don't have dominance.
Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Sorry, I didn't have the light on.
And how may I assist you today? I have the details here.
It's the Grand Cast. Really, Rosarian driven from the home to the Black Shields go, gates of the Port of Solde, seeking shelter in Sakura, but neither are forthcoming. Short way from the Lazarus district. Presumably, we have a new ally. Oh look, yeah, they overlap. So Wade. But where's Tyler? I'm pretty sure Tyler's. Maybe Tyler's not dead then. I swear we saw. Obviously, we saw Murdoch's. Well, that guy Rodney burn, but I swear we saw another one burn. Yeah, wealthy noble. Oh yeah, that's what got added.
One must understand one's place in the world.
I guess. Drake's breath. What are they doing? Oh, they're still just at a standstill. I don't know. It feels like they're not. I mean, yeah, sure. These two are distracted, and these guys are too far away from us. Do anything? Wow, Lord. I mean, they're right there. That's gonna be a lot of fighting there. But these guys, yeah, they're small, but yeah, they don't have any important characters. To the point that if we go back over here, go all the way to the start, which I could have just done really quickly. Let's chill. There we go. Yeah, the Iron Kingdom just doesn't have any people. In the same way that the Dominion just never really did much.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Typical nobles.
Typical nobles.
It will be over soon.
Ooh.
You ready?
Welcome back. We're about to do a story quest.
Jill. When you told me you had to come to terms with your past,
We're doing Shiva story.
you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the crystalline Orthodox. The man who made me do all those unspeakable things. I'm going to kill him. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. What I need to move forward. And I know that I can do it. If you're there beside me.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down the mothercrystal together. All while Sid looks on.
We'll make him proud.
I put this on hold, I'm afraid, because I was going to play Fall Guys, but turns out I've got to pay money to play Fall Guys on a PlayStation because it's an online game. And then I went, oh, fuck it, I've got nothing prepared. We'll put it on hold now. It's a complicated time of my life. And we did 39 days. We'll do 60 days when I come back. And you know what? I'll use that time to play some of the games I started. So High Five Rush really does deserve me to play the game as well. Like, there's a few games that I should just start and finish. So yeah. So Jill and Clive, and of course Joshua, were when they were kids, and the big bad thing happened. It was because the Empire, these guys over here invaded, but Jill was left behind. She's actually from, I don't know actually where she's from. She's all of a different place, but like these guys, the Iron Islands, invaded and kidnapped her. So she was forced to be a dominant because these guys are religiously, they don't like magic users. But obviously, if you can be a magical kaiju, that's still going to be useful in battle. So it just means they mistreated her a lot. So we're doing a Shiva storyline, and I'm presuming at the end of this, she's going to give up her magic and give it to Clive, because, you know, how else is Clive? I don't think they're going to kill off Jill. I would be very surprised if they killed off Jill in the same way. So I assume she's going to willingly give up her powers, just so Clive can go, oh, I can do ice now, yay! But also, they have established that when somebody dies, somebody can get their powers, and so like we'll probably have to fight Ramu and Shiva at some point anyway, because those are boss fights you can do. Oh yeah, I'm officially halfway through this game now, so I'm 25 hours in. There's another 25 hours left, and I've taken 25. Well, I've taken 26 hours now, so 27 hours even. But it's sort of been well established that despite the fact I take twice as long to do anything, people who tried to do that presumably did as well. But maybe the second half of the game is going to be longer. I don't know, because normally the time means nothing to my playthrough because I take so long. But I guess it's kind of a well-paced game. I mean, because it'd be much faster if I wasn't reading all the supplemental material, reading everything out loud, and streaming.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
Oh yeah, everyone, you turn into stone if you use magic too much as well, so giving up powers is probably a good idea. Might be why she's wearing a glove.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
Sid was quite old though. Sid, despite the fact that Sid didn't look that old, I think he was in his 50s. Or, it's quite hard in the JRPG. You could be like in your 30s and called an old man. But like, Sid must have been at least 40. These are like the oldest, because they're both 30 now. These are the oldest Final Fantasy characters. Again, they don't look 30, but...
The Iron Kingdom's mothercrystal.
Mother... I don't know how to press. I could... And we're going to knock it down. Yeah, we've got 5 more icons to collect, like Pokemon. We have 4 more crystals to destroy. We have a dog.
Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency, allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go.
And also, yeah, there's a weird interdimensional alien doing shit. Like when we broke the first crystal. I don't know if you were there for that.
When I came here, it would be to reclaim it.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
And the sort of creature came through and was like...
The Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secret only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.
The other thing is, the game keeps doing this one thing, and it's really funny. I don't know why it is. Because I keep on... where is it? I'm trying to find where we put them. In a journal. I've not read the journal ages. Clive and Jill land their dinghy upon the stony shores of Johnstruct. They make for the mountain and the oratory that lies within, where both Mother Crystal and Patriarch shall taste their blades. And there's loads that I've not been bothered to read, and I can't bother to read them anymore. Although, I'm looking for a thing right now. I'll read some later, maybe. Where's the items I'm looking for? Okay. Oh, no, it is here. Right, so every so often, a character goes, yeah, here's a badge. And if you wear this badge, the people in this place, they'll be nice to you. So I've got the moon and stars. I've got the hanged man. I've got the slumbering chocobo. Is that an item? Yeah, it's a mark. So, like, I'm, like, carrying scouts. I'm, like, collecting Pokemon badges here. But they don't actually show on this person. They just keep doing this one plot point where they're like, don't worry, if you're wearing this badge on your incredibly elaborate armor, that they'll trust. And it's like, like, why can't I just see them if you're going to do this as a recurring plot point? But like, I've got like fucking one. Is that one? No, I've got 4 of these. And that all they do is take place in this item list and do nothing else, because it, like, you could have just done that plot point without giving me an item. I just don't understand why it exists. It's a really weird... Akashic Thorn.
The blood must have spread.
So...
It was never as bad as this before. And the only way past them...
so Akashic... I've forgotten her name. There is a famous alchemist lady, a famous woman scientist. Went to a racist university because I know bad terrible ideas. But one of the things they invented, because back in the day, you wouldn't have to prove shit. You just go, yeah, I think monkeys come from the sky, and someone's like, that's a great theory. So one of the theories of this university, this woman invented, was that all the information exists out there in the universe, in the Akashic records. Is it Akashic records or something like that? And you just needed a way to divine that information to you. Like, you drug yourself and try and dream that information, but that's what Akashic means. I really wish I could remember the woman's name, because she is kind of famous. I only know her from the racist university because I listened to Behind the Bastards, and I was like, oh, I know that woman's name. Doggo, where am I supposed to go? There. Okay, thanks, Doggo. But it's not the first time it's cropped up in RPG. I mean, it's a common RPG word, to be honest, because it's a cool concept if you don't know about things surrounding it. Because as you might imagine, it's like a weird race. It was like a supremacist university, because of course it was.
An earthquake.
They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about.
Who invented the Akashic record? Alright. Yeah, I don't like that. The religion and philosophy... No. I was reading that. No, put it back to the thing I was reading. Who invented the Akashic record? Okay. In the religion and philosophy? No, theosophy and philosophy school known as Anthroposophy, the Akashic records is a compendium of all the universal thoughts. That doesn't answer the fucking question. I wanted to know who invented it. Yeah, it's just the idea that all the memories of like everything is... Which famous woman is associated with the Akashic record? It just turned off. Which famous woman is associated with the Akashic record? Which famous... Why did you turn off straight away? Which famous woman is associated with the Akashic record?
Not this one.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, there's a famous mystic. There's a specific one I was thinking of. Anyway. Hey, it's gross. My phone is just over there, and come to me, phone. Phone! Phone! No, it's not happening. I love that move so much. So, in the context of computer games, if you're around the crystal for too long, mana bleeds out and it makes you all crazy and stuff, and that's why all the enemies are the enemies I've met before, but powered up. Also, because that saves on making new models. Oh, it's one of those buff Minotaurs. That's gonna be a scary motherfucker. You can't tell with that picture. If I do this... No, you can't do the law in the middle of... Yeah, you can't tell on that model, but he's got a six-pack. I swear I dodged him. Don't have a cow, man. Ramu, because of Cowman.
The old arboretum is just ahead.
Oh, I can't. Damn it! I don't have access to. I wish I could access all of them. Actually, I think I can sometimes. Cut that cough out, John. Drake's Breath, one of Valastea's 5 remaining mother crystals. I thought there's only 4. Whatever. Located in the volcanic isle known as to the Ironblood as Ben Leodlad. That's definitely how that's pronounced. In the seas between Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom, though its occupation can historically be traced to the Duchy, control of the crystal was recently wrestled from Rosaria's grasp by one of those buff cowmen. Oh no, by the Crusade following the series of bitter conflicts. Not sure how I got those two confused there. Mount Justanus, that's definitely not how that's pronounced. A solitary volcanic isle rising from the brutal and unforgiving sea known as the Ironblood Tongue as Benny Leolad. That's what I'm going to call it. It was once a province of Rosaria, but eventually fell to the Crusaders. Ben Leolad. Okay, who considered both gateway to the continent of Storm and, more importantly, the wellspring of their faith, the mother crystal known as Drake's Breath. Hang on, if I do... Sometimes they have, like, more, but I don't think you can do it on this page. No, you can't do it on the active time law. The Iron Kingdom. An island nation situated off the west coast of Storm, with its capital at Craglos Gate. Despite being nominally a monarchy, the patriarchy, the most powerful priest of the crystalline orthodoxy, is in truth the most powerful person in the kingdom. He rules from the Isle of Benny Leolad, more commonly known as Storm, as Mount Justinus, on which sits the mother crystal Drake's Breath, focal point of the faith. Here, countless bearers kidnapped from their homes in the storms and ash, made to suffer in the name of the religion which deems them less than human, which is like all of them now. And here's Akashic in this game. The irreversible damage brought about by the living beings' overexposure to ether, creatures stripped of intelligence or self, a sense of self that they may once have had, and become suffused with life force, unusually manifesting as extreme strength and aggression. Flora can also turn, resulting in their twisted overgrowth. Those with ethereal tolerance, however, such as dominance bearers and our fucking dog, apparently, are less likely to turn in Akashic.
We'll enter the caves from there.
The dog is Angie. Breath of wind, aerial blast. I failed to open the door. Look at this unusually large area.
Look at this place.
That's what I said.
What a mess.
Didn't say that though. There's the dog. Oh, you can't see it because I'm in the way. Damn me.
Wait.
Pet the dog. Just casually do it. It's a Marlboro!
It's turned.
Nothing a shield of Rosaria can't handle.
Akashic Marble, I think it's going to be called.
Just like old times.
Worst breath. Yeah, Akashic Marble.
Believe me, I need to. Foul.
Don't breathe it in.
Oh, it's got tentacles. I should have bought more potions and I forgot to. Too slow, Chicken Morango. Well, you get your health back during that as well. There we go. Akashic Marble has been slain. Wasn't too bad because it's a big thing. I could just stay behind it at all times. A lovely smile. Cup of tea.
Son?
Yes.
Secret grape.
It's like a furnace in here.
We're inside the volcano. You get used to the heat.
Do you,
I
though?
don't remember it being quite this hot.
Hot. I'm gonna buy some potions. I don't want to lose progress, never mind. No, I need to be in fights to get that up.
Was that what cause for concern?
It was. And they're getting bigger. Something's wrong.
Scorpions! Gather all the scorpions together! Yeah, that gets me a little bit of health back. Can't summon my chocobo here. Did I miss any items? Did the dog come back? It's probably a friendly dragon. Oh, it's a Solomon. Oh, he's not friendly at all. I needed that health. I was doing stuff with that health.
All yours, Tom.
It wasn't a friendly dragon at all.
Fuck. Is there no other way across?
Oh, if only I had somebody who's like really proficient with ice with this.
Let's not do that again.
No. Let's not.
I like how going subprime mortgages, sorry, it's called subprime or something like that, changes the colours of your clothing, just so you can be styling and profiling. Is that a ball? It's a grenade!
Perhaps not alone, but in numbers like these.
Oh fuck, I lost like all my health then, didn't I? Fuck, shit, bollocks. Right. We'll get by. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can finally buy one of these. Yeah, Flames of Rebirth. Let's use it before it stops being relevant. I mean, right now seems like the worst time because we're in a fireplace. But it's Phoenix Flames. It's different than Ifrit Flames. And Ifrit Flames is always... I don't think the actual elements make a difference in terms of how much damage they do. Oh, this also partially restores his HP. Ah, fuck him. We'll take it. Or we could get this. That's kind of cool as well. This is too expensive. Yeah, I mean, we should have been saving these for ages. We could also get... Fuck, no, just get that. Right. Why did that close the window? I obviously want to put it on. I do like Heatwave. Ignition is funny as fuck. It is probably not really a boss thing. So we'll put Ignition back on later. But like, it's clear, yeah, it's useful for mobs because it's really funny to gather like 10 of them and be like, oh, we're all being gathered. Although it's probably going to be a while till we see it, but it's fine. We'll put Flames of Rebirth on. And I think Ignition is kind of more useful. Is it though? Nah, fuck it, I'm putting Ignition on. It still does damage. No, I'm putting Heatwave on. It has an extra star though. It's been upgraded actually, so keep Ignition. We'll also change this, we'll keep that. Oh, I'll take that off. Flames of Rebirth, yeah, there we go. Purple, it's probably a good idea to put the purple things on. Aerial, Breath of Wind. Okay, I'm assuming Breath of Wind is one we don't have yet. I'm assuming it's literally that. No, what is Breath of Wind? It's Breath of Wind. Oh, we must have misread that. I actually turned the menu off now, I think. Breath of Wind? Aerial Blast. Okay, I'm just a fool. I'm a fool! Yeah, it's that. Okay. Makes sense. Oh, that would be a purple. So this is very satisfying on the controller because it makes it rumble. We'll keep the badge metal. Alright, I've been faffing. Stop faffing, John. It now means, though, we should be able to,
Drake's breath.
Did that heal us?
We're nearly at the oratory.
Partially restoring Clive's HP. I didn't see that heal us. Maybe I have to damage enemies with it? It's Red Moose! It's Red Moose, I just told you.
Absolutely no idea.
Well, whatever it is, I don't think it's friendly.
Now I want some Red Moose. I don't know what even that is, but I want it. Like a cherry moose. Is that me doing that? No, it can do that. Fuck. Oh, it takes fucking ages to come back as well. So I completely wasted it, not... Oh, fuck. Look at his grin. Look at his lovely little grin. We did not save for fucking ages. Do we get my abilities back? We do, okay. Oh, we were actually right next to it. That's fine. So yeah, elite monsters can still be an issue because you really just be constantly dodging them. Yeah, I don't like the Flames of Rebirth takes half an hour to come back. Also, don't like that he stomped on me. Don't use a healing ability, John, when you've got full health. Oh, it fucking gives you barely anything, the healing. I really like the decision to use the moose as a really kind of late game enemy.
Well done.
Turn into a little ball. That was the moose. There was a moose loose across this hoose. That's an old British advert I'm referencing there. About natural moose, not delicious. Food. Dessert is what I was trying to say. I just forgot the word dessert. Mithril Wristlets. The appearance of Mithril in the Dalatse is a fairly recent occurrence. Its history only going back as far as the fall of the first Mother Crystal, the emergence of the Deadlands. This led to some crystalline orthodoxy to preach that the Blight is somehow involved in its creation, therefore marking it both impure and unholy. Ah. Like really recent then, like last 5 years. Doggo, where must we go? Oop. Lizard!
One of the demons. But they never leave the lava.
If I didn't know better,
44 salamander already.
this volcano was about to erupt.
Why attack us then?
Flame lizard! It's literally just good. No, it goes in a ball!
Must be the exception.
It does a roly-poly! It's going. Wow! Toggle! Kill that Toggle doing a backflip! Best dog ever! I want to keep the backflip. He does it all the time, but like it was nice to have it slowed down. Aww. You live in the lava, it's fine.
You
just hot.
Yeah, there's something very adorable about the way it does the things, like a
Motion our friend made.
cat doing that.
Let's hope the guards didn't hear it.
The gate to the inner chambers is just up there. Then we make for the sanctuary.
I'm glad I don't live in olden times, because the first bear I'd met, I just would go, oh, look how adorable the bear is, and I'd die.
Here.
We'll enter the Comric by the Handmaiden's living quarters. It was always a hive of activity.
Sounds like we'll have a hard time staying out of sight.
We won't have to. There's someone there I should very much like to see.
Save my game, I guess. It's probably auto-saved, but whatever. What a thrill! How did you climb up? Hello? But stairs right in front of a door. You can't stealth anywhere. There's constant leather noises everywhere you walk. Why did they need fire in this place? I mean, for light, sure, but...
Lady Marley, it's me. By the mother. Jill, it can't be. It is, my lady. We cannot talk here. Come with me.
Nothing suspicious about that group walking around. I'm glad somebody noticed. Well, there's a dog here. There's not normally a dog. Ah, probably nothing.
I'm so glad you're safe.
And I you.
Why ever would you risk coming back? Are you a fool, girl? Or have you grown tired of your freedom already?
Forgive me, my lady. But I had to come back. There are things I left undone. Tell me, where is the Patriarch?
We're going to stab him.
At this hour, he'll be in the Comric, giving thanks.
You mean... Oh. Clive, we have to get to the sanctuary. Now. Lady Marley, you must flee this place, gather your things, and go.
I will say this is easily the darkest of the Final Fantasies. Mainly because it's inspired for Game of Thrones, so occasionally it just gets absurdly dark.
This way.
Hang on. So there was a side quest. You go out into a field and the music just goes, and you're like, oh, nothing but bad things in this particular section. And because there's the slaves with the marks on their heads, all your quests are like, oh, we're trying to find someone. It's like, I already know they're dead because of the music. But one of the side quests is this rich man goes, right, you're late. And you're like, no, I think you're thinking, right, my child is in danger. You have to kill... There's an evil dog. There's a monster dog. There's a worgen fighting my child, and you're like, okay, that's sort of weird, and you go over there and you kill the Worgen. And the child goes, no, you were supposed to die. You wasn't supposed to kill the dog. And it turns out the old man, the posh man and his son were buying like poorly slaves and then just having them killed by dogs for sport. So you go back and you're like, I killed the dog. And he's like, I think you scared my child. How fucking dare you? And you're like, yeah, you want to pay me or not? And he pays you. And he's like, I'm just going to get a bigger dog. And fuck you. And you walk away and some guy walks up to you and goes like, oh, you met that guy then? And you're like, yeah, I don't like... And I'm sitting here going, should I stab that guy? You could have just stabbed that guy. I feel like we've stabbed a lot of soldiers. The occasional just... literal serial killer would have been fine, but like then you hear like both the father and the son get mauled, and the implication is the guy you're speaking to is just like, don't worry, that's been sorted, has like sold him a slightly too big dog. And so yeah, you just hear, I mean, when I say a child, it's like a 12-year-old or something. He was a real brat, but like I've never seen Final Fantasy just murder a child before, even if it was slightly off screen. And I'm like, well, fucking, he was a brat, but like, at least his dad definitely deserved it. This child sort of did as well, because he was just like, no. But like, he also, you know, possibly, arguably wasn't his fault that he was raised that way. But like, yeah, it's just like, this section of the game was just dedicated to being episode of dark for some reason. And you find out that the people you're looking for just died and stuff, but like, and then the funniest bit of it is when you walk into the village music starts, and it goes you walk out, but yeah, I don't think the snail works. It's because the snails, they get sleepy if I keep the program on for too long, and I've got to turn the program off and on. And I don't have a button to turn the program off for some reason. I could just easily program that, but it just needs to be reset like every hour or so. They need sleep, they need rest. The other side quest that you have to do is you go to a little child and she goes, oh, Lucy or whatever, I've lost Lucy, my pet Lucy. She has lovely hair and she's gone missing. She wasn't tied up. And I take a few steps and I'm like, okay, Lucy's a person, right? Like, there's this the name of the quest. I see where this is already going, but of course, if you're a magic user, you slowly turn into stone. So you find Lucy has already died because she used too much magic, and then the girl turns up and goes, I only made her do a little bit of magic. And basically Clive has to go, that was a person, you dickhead. How dare you treat him like that? But we don't kill that child, not even a light stabbing. We just go like, my dad said they weren't people and they weren't born, and said, no, they were, you shit. And she just gets away with a lecture. It's just the other child. The other child was a little older than her, but like, I just wanted Clive to. I still wanted Clive to stab that guy. Not like murder stab, just a light stab. Just like, don't be a serial killer, please. Light stab. I have like 40 powers. You're not doing shit to me. Like, nor is any of the soldiers in this area. Light stab. It'll be fine. But I mean, I'm glad that guy died anyway. But still. I didn't know somebody already had a ironic death in mind for him. Like, nor did Clive. Yeah, just as a treat, just a light stab. Just like, please, like, if you do more serial killings, you'll get more. And you're not going to catch me, because like half the world is already after me at this point. You may be a lord, but you're not king. Anyway, the inner sanctum. Sacred, just a light stab. Just for Clive. Sacred. Because that would have been a lesson to the boy as well, without actually murdering him. Just like, if you do... Just a light. I mean, it's medieval times, so even with magic crystals, that might not have been a healable thing. Sacred chambers in which the hearts of the mother crystals are enshrined. Just a light stab. Believed to... I don't know what it is. It's a very, like, mimicable phrase. I don't know why. Believed to have been created before the time of the fallen. They retain a pretentious air even now, long after mankind has forgotten their significance. Marley. Born in the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, Marley was kidnapped by the Iron Blood during their invasion 18 years ago and taken back to the island of Justinus. Please, why did you choose a word that has clearly the word anus at the end, where she was forced to serve as handmaiden for the priest of the Crystalline Orthodox. I mean, I'm sure it just happens sometimes. I'm just being immature. There she met young Jill Warwick and took her under her wing, caring for a terrified child as if she was the mother Jill never knew. I know you shouldn't just, like, avoid syllables because you think they're intrinsically rude. Although Americans do that. There's a word called titbit, and in America they changed it to tidbit.
Follow this passage. It leads straight to the Comric.
So, you know, just like the we, you just get used to it being a silly word.
You were always so kind to me. My light in the darkness. Take care, my lady, please. You deserve better than this. A long and happy life, promise me.
They really don't like covering up people's ears.
I'll live if you promise to do the same.
Alright, but don't get stabbed immediately right now then.
Come on, Clive. We're nearly at the Comric.
All right.
You know what this lava-filled palace needs? More fire, I reckon. That's what it's missing. Hang on, I swear I changed that. Just a light fire. I think it's because I always accidentally use these.
Here's our welcoming party.
I've had enough of their...
Oh, that's not a welcoming party at all. These are just a load of crusaders. Clive? Okay, I have to be very careful not to... Hang on. We use ignition. No, I missed. Oh. I don't want to use the special move because that's now a boss-only move, essentially. Which makes sense because I just decimate normal enemies. Come on, get over here! Where are we going, doggo? Okay, now I want to know what's up here, though. I'm sorry, dog, I did send you away. Also, I pushed Jill away. I didn't mean to push Jill away. Flame does go better.
How many of them are there?
7. I was fighting the other guy, but whatever, you do. Fuck, I didn't mean to use this one. He's a mini boss anyway, essentially. You know what? One thing Dark Souls does is a lot to answer for. It's fucking making it so people arbitrarily holding their attacks back for slightly longer than you expect them to. Like, even, I don't think Dark Souls did it that much. Elden Ring was a real bastard for that. Just going, I'm gonna hit you, nah! Like that. And like, I'm just not used to that timing. And this game does that. If there's one thing it feels, like, maybe, I didn't play the newest Devil May Cry, DMC5, or whatever it's called. I did play 4, and 4 definitely didn't do a counter system that was cheeky. Am I gonna attack you? Not yet! Because there's a lot of that. And specifically Elden Ring feels like a game that was specifically trolling people who know dodge timings. And this game does a little bit of that, where I'm just never quite fucking sure when he's about to do his hit.
Nice try.
One thing I think the game does on purpose is if you're spamming moves you can't see for shit. I mean, I don't think it does on purpose. I think it just accidentally works in its favour. But, and of course it's really difficult to dodge if you can't see when he's gonna do his move. Let's grab that shiny. Apparently 8. I think only 4 at a time though. Don't use Phoenix, John. It's been... Oops. Into the power with the rest of you. Do you think these guys even have organs?
Clive, there's something I need you to know. I saw the Patriarch do things no one should have to see. And so I swore that he would die by my hand.
I understand. I faced my demons. Then you must face yours.
Not sure I like where this is going. Yeah, I mean, if you look here, see here. There's Phoenix, there's Garuda, there's Ramu. Shiva will go here, and then we know Titan will be the next one. Ramu, Bahamut, and I don't know what the last one is. But clearly space for 8 or 9 if you include Ifrit. These have been upgraded, yeah. Still never used taunt. Not sure what it's for. Oh, so maybe I should try and use that. Who knows? But yeah. But I reckon the game will only let you use 4 at a time. Alright, well, dog, don't go down there. We're picking stuff up first. Alright. I wish I did not pick that up, because I've clearly got full items already. I'm assuming they're throwing women into a volcano. I'm hoping it's nothing edgier than that. It is inspired by Game of Thrones, though. In Sanctum Drix Breath.
We're nearly there. Just one last push.
Iron Guard will let this so.
You know what? That's really strong. It's just that this guy has a fuck ton of health. This fucking move here. Just fucking swing your axe, dickhead! I completely didn't whiff that, didn't I? I thought other men had approached.
I needed that.
Oh, he did loads of damage. See, a couple of bad hits.
All yours, Torgal.
I'm trying to do the dog on purpose, and it's probably not helping me. I don't know what Willow the likes anyway. Right. It's going to be an important room. Let's open it very slowly. I'm only lightly pressing it to make it really slow. I think you're doing some ritual sacrifice.
Shiva's dominant. Come to beg forgiveness for your failure.
For years, I followed your orders. Fought your wars. All to protect the children you took. Just as you took me. And what did you do in return? You put them in chains and you slit their throats!
Fiend.
Their souls were sullied with the stain of ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption. A penance paid, just as the Holy Mother wills it! Repent, abomination! For a monster like you to set foot in the Holy Cymric is in itself a crime deserving of death.
You're right. I am a monster. And my soul is stained black. Though not by ether. But by the evil of men like you, who made me close my heart and drown in darkness when I should have raged against it. This is my penance. I will be your monster no more. Nor will I suffer you to create another.
Does the beast bare its teeth at its master? Come then, dominant. Rage, be as you have ever been. A monster!
And what are you, Imran? I was forced to kill. You do it by choice. But never again. I bowed to you once. Now it is you who shall bow to me!
Kill them.
Now!
Right.
Oh, it's Joshua. Is it? No, there's more than one person in a cloak. Explosives. Oh yeah, what the fuck is this? It's another one of those aliens. Who the fuck are you? Do we get to play as Jill? Let's play as Jill. Let's be Jill. This because it's going pop-a-dum. Ah, dog's angry. Wah! Oh no, it's not doing that.
Why? Why can't I do it?
Who's this?
Please, just once.
can do this at least. Who the fuck are you? You are Liquid Flame. Ah, Liquid Flame's from Final Fantasy V. Yay! I'm so easily impressed by references to old Final Fantasies, a thing they constantly do. Get down here, Liquid Flame. Shit, didn't mean to do that. Welter? And lava, lava, long. And lava, lava. Long, long, live long. Live long. That was Peter Andre I was doing here, for some reason.
Go.
All right. I won't take long.
Oh, it's a dog now. This is Liquid Flame and it can change form. I did shit a job of dodging those.
No.
The Phoenix! I'll heal this time.
This might take a while.
But you said it won't take long. That's literally the thing you just told you. Shit, that was awful. That was a stagger move I just completely whiffed there. Don't use the stagger move doing it. Oh, I didn't. is ridiculous. Now there are fucking loads of them. That's how that quote goes, right? He's in range.
Too slow. Nice try.
Get in range. Get in my range. Sure, I thought that would work.
Come on. That's better.
Fucking dodged. Thank you for clipping that. Yeah, I've been trying to use toggle more often to get that to happen. Liquid flame. Flame trapped at mid-dance. Both ethereal and corporeal, fleeting and enduring, but very much alive. Thanks, Shiva.
Jill!
What happened to that dude?
Going to finish this, Clive.
We need to stab that dude. Also, what happened to the two slaves on the thing? The branded. Oh no! Whatever. The bearers.
Here. Use this.
Sid. We're one step closer to freedom.
Lovely.
The crystal. What did you do to it?
Why haven't we stabbed this guy yet?
Oh. We destroyed it.
What? But... Monster! Monster! Do you have any idea what you have done?
I do, Father. I have killed the monster and become an outlaw.
There we go. Lovely.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
It's over.
It is.
And Shiva exacted her price.
She did.
Again, the burden fell to you.
And I bore it willingly. This was a sin for which I had to atone. Now I can continue at your side with my head held high.
Okay. No interdimensional monster this time.
Clive, look.
Yeah, we're about to get some ice powers, I'm pretty sure, so I'm a little worried.
It's just like the one at Phoenix Gate. Damn it. We need to leave.
Agreed.
Open the map screen, quickly. Oh, it's Joshua, question mark? Was it... I better hold this for the shakies.
I kept my promise, and now you keep yours.
Legacy. Meanwhile, somewhere else. There, in that place. Okay, so no, that's Joshua. There's somebody else who looks like Joshua going around. It's like Kingdom Hearts, isn't it?
This way, Your Grace.
I mean, he always did have a cough. Oh, did the girl have the medicines, or is that a different girl?
You're bleeding. I have a tonic which will...
I thank you for your kindness.
It is.
Truly. But I assure you, I will survive. Please, save your medicines for those who need them most.
Oh, well, if you're sure...
She's on the map of characters, so it's like, oh, some random child giving medicine out. Why is she important? Oh, she's going to become a dominant.
For a moment there, I felt my brother's presence.
I've been quite good at predicting plot points in this game. Not all of them. I didn't predict Ultima being an interdimensional monster who's just like, hey, I'm here as well.
After 5 years of silence, I cannot keep him sealed away much longer.
Your Grace.
Yeah. Just somebody at Square go, does that word have any other connotations? Nope. You sure? Nothing that springs to mind, sir. Okay, we'll go with that. Is it for sure?
Look at them all. Like a river flowing to the sea.
And I think this game was specifically designed in English rather than Japanese for once.
The crystalline dominion, their light in the darkness. More and more lose their homes to the blight.
Everyone must show their ears, it doesn't matter
While
how long your hair is.
fortunes to the Dalmekian levies and leave to find new livelihoods. What is it that you seek in the Dominion?
Your Grace.
Oh, Dion Lesage.
Bahamut.
The Crown Prince of Sanbreque.
He has many titles. Dion the Bold, Prince of Dragoons, Odin's Nemesis, or simply Bahamut. I met him once, when we were children. He was a chivalrous soul even then, and has served his empire indefatigably ever since.
And you are confident that he will listen to what you have to say?
Joshua, he's like 20.
To the abyss.
Hang on, no, it's been 20 years, so he has to be like 27.
Extends to every nation, Sanbreque included. If His Highness is the man I believe him to be, and I pray that he is, this truth will not have escaped his notice.
Everyone stops aging at 20.
As the mother crystals fall, the eternal flame wavers, and the azure sky begins to bruise. How lucky we were to be blessed by the crystals, and yet how spoiled. Like canaries in a gilded cage, growing fat on seed. But now, the bars are closing in, and we must take flight. Painful though it be to leave our home behind, it is what we must do to be free. Which is it that men cannot live without? A blessing that leads to damnation, or a freedom that leads to deprivation?
Yeah, he must be in his 30s.
I do not yet know the answer to that question. Do you, Clive?
Your Grace, let us find a place to rest a while. We can return by the Dhalmekian trail once you have recovered your strength. I realize your duty is pressing, but if your health should fail...
I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yote.
They know what they're doing. I also enjoy. So this is the first Final Fantasy where everyone seems to be adults, but at the same time they've blatantly gone. Yeah, they're 13 years has passed. How old are they going to look? Oh, nobody looks older than you. Be quiet. How old does his mum look? She looks exactly the same. Doesn't matter if she's clearly supposed to be in her late 50s at this point. I guarantee Hot Mum is going to look like the same age as everyone else. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm just pointing it out. I mean, for a Japanese game, it's actually much better than a lot of things. I say as it does very stereotypical music.
The Empire's defenses and gained the Isles of Ark has failed yet again.
Only because your fleet has proved as impotent as a eunuch on laying night. Would you rather we simply fell back to the capital?
Enough, both.
Is laying night a thing? And I'm not going to think about that.
Maintain its illegitimate claim on the Dominion. However, our casualties mount with each passing day.
There is a literal sea twixt you and your prize. The armies of Sanbreque need but sit back and watch as you harmlessly lap against their walls. They are dug in like ticks and seek to draw out this siege, knowing the capital's stores are nigh bottomless. And what of our wise rulers? Goaded into war without any thought.
Yeah, he was very sad the Windy girl died.
Republican soldiers starve while waiting for orders from Randalar.
If you would but take the field, their bellies would be full by nightfall.
If I take the field, so too will Bahamut, and our duel will shake the island to its foundations. Instead of liberating the Dominion, you would doom it.
Yeah, I think the game says she was using him, but he was genuinely
Unless that is
in love with her.
Desire.
If our learned advisor has a solution to propose, we should be glad to consider it.
I like that they were like, oh yeah, Titan comes from this particular place, there's a particular background. We want that feel. We want that feel to go through everything he says. How about all the other people who work at? No, that's just all fucking British. It's fine.
The Emperor's?
Yeah, she looks exactly the same. I think she might have grayer hair.
What is the meaning of this, Lord Kupka?
Oh, that's why it's 13 years, because they need another child to grow.
To advise you any longer.
She's just gonna keep betraying her way to the top. This game is not very nice to women.
On their faces when you walked through those doors. A perfect picture of stupefaction. They could not believe their eyes. Though I confess, I had my own doubts whether or not you would accept my invitation. Such shocking news.
He is Lord.
Sid isn't a son of a whore. He's the son of an empress. Your own dear Clive.
Absurd. Who fed you these lies?
I have never spent a moment among criminals, save at the gallows. I came here with my son.
Oh,
to entertain your baseless accusations.
She might actually have a weird magic thing going on.
Hostilities between our nations.
Very well. You need only agree to the terms I set out. Sid took the life of someone dear to me. A woman by the name of Benedicta.
So, yeah, so at the start of the game, our mum betrayed our entire family to join the Empire. But specifically, she did that because Phoenix, the Joshua with the V-neck, who was about that age, was going to be sent into battle. And she's like, I don't want him to die. I want to preserve the lineage. So literally, the only reason she's done everything is to make Olivier the next Phoenix, not knowing that Phoenix is still about. So I thought, but recently she started doing cullings. She started, we went to a village. We literally went to a village where everyone went, oh, Clive, I remember you. Oh, we love you, Clive. We have all the slaves here, and they're all sort of free, and they all like you because you come from a nice kingdom, which doesn't exist anymore. And Clive's like, I'm just going to go on a quick quest. I'm going to do a metaphor battle against my inner demons, and I'll be right back. And I'm like, as we're walking back, I'm like, oh, that fucking village is being burnt down. And yeah, she has like black cloaks. They're called the Black Shields in this game, who are doing... They're just going around murdering people, basically. They're culling all the magic users. But they've sort of acknowledged, okay, even that's cartoonishly evil for her. There's something a little bit weird going on. So she might not be as evil. There might be like a worm tongue type figure. Presumably, possibly Ultima. Anyway, I've got a lot of things to read here as well. Empress of the Holy Empire of Sambrique, formerly Duchess of Rosaria, before she betrayed her nation and gifted it to the Empire. For a short while after the fall of the duchy, she was taken into the protection of the Imperial Crown, a pretense that ended with her bargained remarriage to Emperor Sylvestre, both of the Prince Olivier, and the return to rule over Rosaria over the Vicereine. Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. Wormtongue, he's like a little, but sir, you should attack the thing. Yes, sketchy fellow who's at my side, I shall do that. Yes, you please do. Please, I only have your best interests at heart, sir. Those people, your best friends, they're all plotting against you, sir. Yes, sketchy, very pale fellow. I believe you and you only. Yes, you should, sir. Like that. That's who Wormtongue is. I'm exaggerating, but not a lot. Wormtongue is Google Wormtongue. He is the sketchiest motherfucker on the planet. I don't know why anyone would trust him. Hugo, where I go? Hugo, permanent economic advisor to the Dalmekian Parliament and dominant of Titan, his little love for his country, taking advantage of his position to benefit himself and himself alone. After learning that Sid the Outlaw, the man who slew the love of his life, Benedicta Harmon, still lives, he tasked his personal guards with capturing and torturing bearers in order to draw out his nemesis and take his Wenge. Randala, I don't know where that is. Well, here, I guess. Capital of the Dalmekian Republic. This is the first time I remember to do this during a cutscene. But sir, I believe it's in your best interest to do exactly what I say. What's funny is that actor, he's in Dune as well, and he plays the same role. He's a mentat for the I forgot what they're called now. Team Red, whatever they're called. He doesn't do that in this game though. He's a little younger in that film. But in the movie, they make it so he has it's not just him. So Grimmer Wormtongue, his actual name, is secretly working for Saruman. And in the movie, Saruman has the power of the evocative voice. And this wasn't in the book. It's actually a reasonably clever plot point because that's Saruman's power. So Saruman's power is going for Wormtongue, and that's why such a sketchy motherfucker can make a king do stuff. In the books, Wormtongue's just good at convincing people to do stuff. But sir, he's like Blackadder. But Grimmer Wormtongue actually ends up being murdered by Saruman. It's like he gets a sad, pathetic death because his pet. The whole point of Wormtongue and Saruman is. Their real power is in their ability to convince people to do stuff. It's in their voice. And the fact that he has they have the pettiest death. Because in the books, Saruman survives and then decides to fucking go back to the Shire and murder everyone there. And you have to save. The last thing that happens in the book is you have to save the Shire from Saruman's petty revenge, which they cut up because the fucking films are like 17 hours as it is. Capital of Dalmekian Empire. Streets bustled with life even late into the night. When the twinkle of countless lanterns illuminates the landscape, nations of fair managed through the Ministry of Law, the heart of the city, wherein the Parliament, wherein sits the Parliament of Ministers. Dalmekian Republic. Nation formed at the foundation of 5 smaller states. It's located in the southern half of the continent of Storm, and its capital, Randala, also home to the mothercrystal known as Drake's Fang. We'll get to there eventually. Inside which stands the castle Dazbog, home of Hugo, Kupka, dominant of Titan. Kupka, obsessed with finding Sid and exacting his revenge for the murder of Benedicta Harmon, co-opted the soldiers of the realm and had them commit a series of atrocities. And an attempt to flush him out of hiding. Yeah. He murdered everyone in the hiding place. We had to move. Holy Empire of Sambrek. Nation occupying the north and eastern reaches of the continent of Storm. After suffering the ignominy of losing Drake's head to an audacious assault by the outlaw Sid in 873, the Empire set its sights on the mother crystal of its nearest neighbour, crystalline dominion. So the thing about dominance is you can kill them, but it means that the icon can appear in a new person. And it's usually a young person, but it doesn't have to be a young person. It can just pick someone. That's why I was trying to figure out for ages. Clive is 15 at the start of the game, then it jumps ahead by 13 years, then it jumps ahead by 5 years. And I'm like, why has the game jumped? If it's just going to have Clive look 20 all the way through the game, why did it even need to do the 13-year jump? And the answer is because it needs the boy to grow up. And I was trying to figure that out ages because what I like about this game is trying to figure out what it's doing. Like at the start of the game, I don't know if this is me being dumb or not, but at the start of the game, the Imperials attack. Let me read this first. Brazen act of conquest struck blows for Valastair, heightened by the already considerable tension between the Empire and Dalmekian Republic. At the very start of the game. Yeah, they need to put the numbers in. I need to know his vital statistics. At the very start of the game, we with Joshua, the V-neck, the Kingdom Hearts kid, we're going to go fight a war, but first you need to do your Phoenix stuff. And shit goes down, and both Joshua goes, we're being attacked, I awaken my Phoenix powers, and lots of fire shit happens. And then Ifrit happens, and Phoenix and Ifrit have a big kaiju fight. And I thought at the time, because all the way through that is Joshua going, you leave my brother alone, and Clive going, you leave my brother alone, to shouting to the Ifrit. But I'm like, hang on, I thought you were Ifrit, because that's literally what the game's advertised. And so the first 8 hours of this game is you trying to find this mysterious second icon, and then you figuring out you're Ifrit, you're the person who killed your brother. And I thought that all the way through the game, so I'm like, at a certain point, I'm like, no, I am right. Joshua's clearly alive. I don't know, it's something about that Phoenix. It's like, clearly not dead, right? That's the whole point of Phoenix. So I managed to predict all that, and that you were chasing shadows and stuff. So yeah, I predict Olivier isn't going to become a dominant, because the whole point is Phoenix is still about. But they did introduce a random girl who's shown up twice now, just to go, curatives! And because it's not always like posh people, it is bloodlines for some people, but it doesn't have to be, I don't think. Olivier Lesage, second son of Emperor Sylvester of the Holy Empire of Sambrique, the third Empress Annabella, making him half-brother to both Prince Dion and Clive. His mother has involved him in the affairs of Imperial Court since he was a small child. But yeah, this is why 13 years happens, because we need Olivier to suddenly appear on the scene.
I swore to take his in turn. This would not be disagreeable to you, I take it. You would finally be rid of the stain on your noble name. In return, I will leave Sanbreque in your capable hands. Your Imperial Majesty.
And all for the love of a common whore. Dominant or no, one cannot hide one's breeding. And beasts will ever belong with beasts.
Yeah, maybe you should keep that shit in your head when you're in literally somebody else's palace.
There are greater things in store for you, my darling Olivier. Soon enough, you shall be the crown prince of Sambrec. And when your father goes to meet Great Griga, you shall be emperor of all you survey. The old order shall come tumbling down, and you will rebuild the world in your glorious image.
Yeah, she's like all the conniving women in Game of Thrones combined for some reason. Oh no, he's got a magical object? I don't know. But I will say, I'm going to indulge. I'm indulging. I mentioned this before. I'll say it again. Actually, I'll tell you what. I do need to pee. I'll be right back, and then I'll indulge. No, I'll indulge now, so it's at the end of a cut rather than at the start. It won't take me long. It has been my insistence that every single Final Fantasy has 4 core villains. All the 3D ones. And if you want to be really, really, really quick about it, here what, like, you, let's say you've got a hero, right? Every hero has a sort of counterpart, usually a woman. You know, no love interest, but literally that person's role is at a certain point of the game, the hero will learn some horrible truth about themselves or about the world, and that person, the paragon, I'll call them, is that they're supposed to be the hand. They're supposed to be like, I'll get you out of this, grab my hand. They'll pull them out of that. That's their role. It doesn't have to be a love interest, but it commonly is. So these two exist. So 4 villains, you will have a sort of nemesis, right? Sort of a knight, somebody who's, if you had grown up at the same time as them, but you'd switched, then like you feasibly could be on the opposite sides, right? and this is usually the most important person because it's your counterpart. And so often they are in a love triangle because that's how that works. So that's villain 1. We'll call him the nemesis. Villain 2 is the tyrant. The tyrant tends to be a king. It tends to have an army and tends to if you look at the back of the box, give me a brief second. Usually, and if you check out literally every other Final Fantasy game, if you look at the back of the box, it will say, this empire is doing shit. Ah, that's bad, isn't it? Because it doesn't really want to tell you the real story because that's plot relevant, right? So it will just say there's an evil army doing stuff, and the tyrant is that evil army. And quite commonly, the nemesis will work for that king because that's going to keep the nemesis relevant. But that king will stop being relevant first, usually, because there's bigger things going on. And that knight will start working for somebody more. So the third villain in every single Final Fantasy is what I would call the puppet master, usually a sort of godlike presence, right? If you think about like how the king has like this lay of the land, they're not powerful in of themselves. They're powerful because they command armies of famous people. Well, think about that in a higher tier, right? That's what this puppet master does. The fourth villain, and always the most interesting villain, is what I call the wild card. And what the wild card does is at the very start of the game, the wild card is a seemingly unrelated, harmless presence. And at the very last minute, they will swoop in and become relevant. They are a single person, and they are a treacherous bastard. You can already see why I brought this up. So if we think about Final Fantasy VII, the most famous Final Fantasy, what are the 4 people in Final Fantasy VII? Well, Sephiroth is Cloud's counterpart. So in that game, he is clearly the most important person. You have Jenova, the Calamity from the Skies, which is an alien presence that hits planets and consumes all its resources and then flies off to another planet. And of course, Sephiroth has been injected with Jenova. But then you have Hojo. Hojo is an evil scientist who actually caused Sephiroth to happen by putting Jenova cells into the baby. And at the last second, he's just like, yeah, I'm not just a harmless evil scientist. I'm an incredibly powerful evil scientist that basically caused everything to happen. So he's your wild card in that game. And finally, the fourth villain, of course, is Shinra, President Shinra. It's an electric company that has a city. So that's Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VIII has the 4 as well. I can do this for all of them. I can do this for a lot of them, actually. You have Squall, Leonhardt, and his evil counterpart is Cypher. One's wearing black, one wears white. They're both knights. Your evil tyrant in this game starts off as President Deling, but then it switches to Ida, which is this witch lady. Now, it doesn't matter that Ida is secretly being controlled by Ultimecia, because Ultimecia does that via shenanigans. It's what it presents as, in the same way that Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII isn't really Sephiroth, it's actually Jenova controlling a magical puppet of meat. And Sephiroth's in a cave. It doesn't really matter. It matters what's presented at the time. So you have Cypher, you have Deling and Ida as you also have who's the wild card in that game? So the Empire Nemesis wild card. Oh yeah, there's another witch in the sky who becomes relevant in late game. They talk about it a lot. I've forgotten that witch's name. It's like Adele. I think it's Adele. That's 3 things, not 4 things. Oh, Ultimecia, of course, is the 4th one, who's more of a presence than a god, but like she's doing weird time travel shenanigans. Final Fantasy IX is pretty obvious because Zidane has an evil counterpart in Kuja. They're both monkey boys. They're both Shinigami who are trying to thread souls between the 2 different planets. There is Garland. Garland's a reference from Final Fantasy 1, but Garland is just some dude who facilitates this. It was not really evil because there's just how soul powers work, but he kind of is evil, but not really. So he's kind of the least interesting wild card because he just turns up at the last second and goes, I'm fucking dead. Necron also just appears right at the last second as the sort of, I embody just the concept of mass death. I caused this to happen, sort of. So there's Necron. Of course, you have the Queen Bran, who's the tyrant, who's doing stuff for most of the game, to be honest. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X is sort of the most interesting one because in Final Fantasy X, there isn't an evil tyrant, there isn't an army. Instead, there's a giant fuck-off kaiju. But if you think about, like, every army has they have to be faceless men because you don't really want to meet the people you're about to kill, because then you need to know they individually did bad things. So you put masks on them, and then you can slaughter them by thousands. You don't feel a thing. Now, imagine those thousands of people in the armies of the previous these games. If you just squish them all up into a giant kaiju, that's what Sin is in Final Fantasy X. And of course, Sin has a person. It's Tidus's father, Jecht, who can't really help. That he did the same thing in the same way that Clive couldn't help Ifrit did those things. It's like all these games use the same ideas and they just sort of remix them in a weird way. In the same way that crystals have always been good, and this one the crystals are bad, but it's just the crystals of the reactors from Final Fantasy VII. What else is in Final Fantasy X? Of course, you have Seymour. Suddenly, Seymour, who's the evil summoner. We've got a good summoner who wants to do the marriage and is the rival, but secretly wants to murder everyone on the planet because of racism. Final Fantasy X has its flaws, but I like Final Fantasy X, but I fucking hate it. Seymour's plan. Why is there so many spots on the back of the screen? It's because this is a dark screen, I think. But I don't like it. There should be less wibbly woo. So Sin. Yevon secretly. Sin exists because there's a weird parasite summoner man from thousands of years ago that keeps itself alive by doing this sort of thing. It would take a while to explain what the fuck Yevon was, but it's also the religion of the land. I don't like this wibbly woo that exists. What is the fourth thing? Yunalesca, the woman that facilitates all this thing as well, is secretly evil because she's just a part of the system. And Final Fantasy X is literally about old people being rich and going, I know people are suffering, but we need this system to keep running because I'm comfortable. And you deciding, no, fuck it, tear it all down. And 10 is really good in that regard because it's the first game to go, hey, Final Fantasy VII is about environmentalism and not burning for all our resources. Final Fantasy VIII is arguably about the legacy of witch hunting and finding intelligent women and just burning them for no reason. And because the thing about Ultimecia is because it's the weird time travel convolution. An entire organization exists to murder Ultimecia because Ultimecia is going to end the world in weird time travel powers, which means she was born into the world where she was going to be murdered and went, fuck that, I kill you. It's not necessarily her fault, but it kind of rings through the story of the game. All these people hunted as witches. It's kind of similar to how slaves work in that game. We are still in Final Fantasy X. Hang on, I jumped back for some reason. Because Final Fantasy... Where? Oh yeah, so Yunalesca, I meant to say. Final Fantasy 12. You're getting my point. I don't need to go through every single game. Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 12 has the Ocuria. The Ocuria are wonderful because they speak entirely in an iambic pentameter. The Ocuria are gods, and they like playing the human race. They give people superpowers. And stuff. You should quit. So all the way through the game, the main characters are like, hey, you should have these superpowers, and you're supposed to go, no, fuck off, gods, and that's sort of, so they are the god, but they don't fight you directly, in the same way it's other games. But so the villain of the game, which is Vayne Solador, he's actually also trying to not follow the gods' plan, but he's like, yeah, fuck the gods, I think we should just be fascists instead. It's like, no, you had the idea and then you went the wrong way there at the end. And so he's the sort of tyrant, but also he's being secret. One of the Ocuria is working with him called Vanar, and Vanar and Sid is wonderful in Final Fantasy 12, are sort of, so they're simultaneously the tyrant and they are the wild card. It gets a bit complicated in Final Fantasy 12 because Final Fantasy 12 leans way more into the medieval politics than the other Final Fantasies, and that's what makes it a bit more complicated. I can't remember if it's the wild card, tyrant, the Ocuria. And one of your brothers is a big knight. He's a good brand. Final Fantasy 13, we are actually going to stop now, because I don't need, you get the point. So I go into every single Final Fantasy trying to figure out which of the four, and this has been a lot more complicated, but I think it's pretty obvious that Mother here is the, represents one of them. There is an interdimensional monster, which is obviously the god. There aren't tyrants, there's clearly a series of tyrants in this game, but they all represent the idea. Because it doesn't have to... one of the things is they're very good at changing the order of which one's most important. It doesn't have to be a single thing. You can represent an idea, and so the constant war because of the crystals is the idea, right? So you don't need one army. All the armies are the army, and all the leaders. But and one will come out on top, but it's not going to be like, oh, he's the one. They clearly all represent that idea. And that's why sort of the mother stands out, because she's just as bad as all the leaders, but the game is going to judge her slightly worse because she's doing it slightly more femininely, which is the sort of thing I don't like that it took from Game of Thrones. The idea of the sort of it doesn't help the two women did this, because Benedicta sort of did this as well, and it's like, yeah, I don't like that. Not keen on that, but because they're all monsters, all the leaders, like, and they'll make the holy leader of the land also a monster. I get that, but like they're clearly doing a thing, and I'm not keen on that. But yeah. One thing I like about how this game is presented, it's put so much effort into doing the game. Like, even Game of Thrones did a pretty good job in that Series 1, where it drip feeds magic in, and this didn't do that, but it's like half Witcher, half Game of Thrones. But I do like that it spent a really long time pretending it wasn't going to do some of the Final Fantasy stuff, where it just gets really weird, and then when it does, you're like, yeah, interdimensional monsters in my medieval politics magic simulator. Like, I really like that. Where you destroy one of the crystals, and suddenly somebody picks his head going, oh, I was doing something with that, mate. He doesn't say that. Ultimate does not say that at all. And he tries to take your skin, because that's why Clive has his abilities, because interdimensional. I don't know if it's an interdimensional monster, but some weird shit's going down. I decided to indulge now because I want to, if I cut an episode here, it's at the end of an episode, not the start, but I'll be right back. I should probably take a break and eat, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go for 2 more hours and then I'll take a break. I've taken tomorrow off work as well, so I can... I'll